that aside, what are some of the more sneaky ways or less obvious ways that you may need to, or that your body might be telling you that you may need some help in looking after the microbiome? And number one, do you struggle with skin stuff? What do we mean here? Acne, persistent acne, acne that continues even though you're not 15 years old. Yeah. Rosacea, hives, eczema, any type of skin irritation. The skin is a route of elimination for the body when the other routes are not working properly. And the microbiome plays a key role in some of that. So if you're not eliminating through the regular routes, it tells me those routes aren't working and the microbiome is struggling. So do you have skin issues? Put a check mark. Number two, do you struggle with any type of mood-related symptoms? This can go either the lower end, like low moods. You may have a diagnosis of depression even, or a history of it. It can also be the other end. It could be anxiety. It could be that you're a person who worries a lot, or mental health feels like a very precarious thing. And the piece of mood regulation and regulating your emotions feels like a monstrous task that is just draining you of energy. All of these I would put a check mark for. Okay, number three, insomnia. What? Luca, what does that have to do with the microbiome? That's in my brain, Luca. In part, but do you know that a lot of the building blocks in order to make the brain pieces work to support your sleep are actually made in your gut by your microbiome? And for many people who struggle with insomnia, the making of those compounds at the gut is not working well because the microbiome is struggling. So insomnia to me, whenever I have somebody in my care who has insomnia, I will always have microbiome pieces worked into our approach. Number four, I think this one's obvious. Anybody who is reacting to food, are you farty? Are you gassy? Is there certain foods you can't bring in because you're gonna clear the room with your stink bombs? Do you have constipation? Do you have pretty persistent diarrhea? All of those are very clear indicators that something's going on at the gut. And when something's going on at the gut, your microbiome is off and it needs some help. Yeah. Okay, number five. Is the list of foods you cannot tolerate getting longer? Have you taken out all the foods that offend and now you have to take 3 more out? I guarantee you your microbiome is not doing well. That's a massive part of what's going on. Your microbiome is a part of how you digest. And if you can't digest, something's missing somewhere. And the microbiome is going to be one of the pieces that needs some support here. Number 6, this one is very curious indeed. And when you give it a think, you kind of go obviously. Number 6, cavities or gum disease. Do you have a steady stream of cavities? This is actually what got me into nutrition in the first place. I had a kiddo who developed 12 cavities over the span of 9 months. There was a lot of microbiome pieces and a lot of digestive pieces that needed some fine tuning. And she hasn't had cavities in now 12 years since that time. So very pleased. 14 years now, almost. So cavities, gum disease, number 6. Number 7, do you struggle with brain fog? There's a high percentage of people who struggle with brain fog where the microbiome is having a hard time and that there's some gut issues going on, in particular the microbiome piece. So anybody with brain fog would get benefits from supporting the microbiome. Number 8, is your immune system struggling? Couple of different ways I think about this. Do you have an autoimmune condition? That's a very big part of that is a microbiome trouble because it's your microbiome that helps you identify which cells are yours, which ones are other. And when you have an autoimmune condition, that capacity to differentiate between your own cells and the cells of other things is not working as well. And you may tend to start attacking, I hate saying it that way, but you start Attacking your own cells because the immune system cannot notice that it's you. Yeah. Another way that I see this, do you get all the colds and flus? Are you sick all the time? Do you take forever to get over a cold or a flu? Yeah. Number 9, bad breath. Bad breath is an indication of things going on further down the digestive tract that are not necessarily working well and could use some benefit and some supports to the microbiome. And number 10, have you ever had a concussion, struggled with a head injury from a motor vehicle accident? Have you ever had any head trauma? Do you know that head trauma, a 0.millisecond after there is trauma to the head, there is a wiping out of your microbiome at the gut level? Yeah. It's one of the biggest reasons or ways to explain why, when you've struggled with a massive head injury or head trauma of sorts, motor vehicle accident, concussion, there's a change to your digestion, to your poops, to how farty you are, to the foods you tolerate, the foods you don't tolerate. And that piece is because of the negative and direct impact, 0.1 second after impact on the head, to your microbiome. Yeah. Isn't that something? Those are the top 10. And these are the ways that I see it in my clients. When anybody with any of these symptoms comes to me and says, look, I need some support, I guarantee you we're going to be doing some microbiome support. Now, those are just the top 10. They're not everything. I'm going to read you some more.